collection is a student-centered number sense routine during which students determine how many objects are in a collection and then record how they organized and counted their collection. This routine centers on students' work to organize and represent their collections in different ways while deepening their understanding of counting. Counting is a big deal and lays the foundation for understanding all mathematics. Very often, we find that a struggle with place value indicates a need for more counting opportunities. A counting collection is multifaceted as students work on social and academic goals. It's also one of our students' favorite math routines. It is a differentiated learning experience that provides access for all learners and provides numerous extension opportunities.
Let's look at our I can statement. Ready, read.
I can use a number line to prove the value of a collection of coins.
What does this mean?
To count the value of the coins.
Level 3 proficiency says you can do all of these things. Today, you are getting the bike scale because you are going to evaluate yourself.
The mathematics teaching and student practices seamlessly appear in counting collections. As we watch today's counting collection lesson, the teacher and I will use and connect math representations as well as support students' thinking about procedural fluency from conceptual understanding. Students are encouraged to attend to precision and they look for patterns as they count and organize their materials. You will see rich mathematical discourse as students work together on their count.
I see that you made your estimate of 91 cents. How did you get that estimate?
I looked on the quarters.
So you saw you had how many quarters?
2.
So you said you had at least 2 quarters. What value do 2 quarters have?
50 cents.
So how did you get to 91?
I looked at the bag and saw maybe 4 dimes, so I added 50 plus 40 equals 90.
Okay, so you took the value of the coin quarters that you had. You knew it had to be bigger than 50 at least. So then the next step was you looked at your dimes and you kind of got a good estimate that way.
Counting collections can be seen in classrooms as early as pre-K as students engage in counting individual objects one by one. They learn that they should only count each object one time. They learn the importance of keeping their count organized, and they practice the order of our number system. Through kindergarten, first and second grade, students continue counting objects by ones to create groups of 10, and eventually they'll create groups of 100 from 10 groups of 10. They're beginning to understand our base 10 number system. They might begin to experiment with counting by twos as they work to become more efficient. In 3rd through 5th grade, counting collections can include sets of objects that employ students thinking about multiplication and even fractions. Our recent coaching focus has been on 2nd grade addition represented on a number line through the lens of the familiar counting collection routine. Students have been practicing identifying coins in skip counting and decomposing coin values. Because the students are able to consistently demonstrate place value understanding during the counting collection routine that's implemented bi-weekly by the teacher, we wanted to engage students in making connections between place value and coin values. With that in mind, today the students are combining these separate goals into one activity, working with their partner to add a collection of coins and then model their thinking on a number line. This task will engage students in the habits of good mathematicians. We will see the students model mathematics, use math tools, and attend to precision, which are all skills that transfer into the real world.
All right, I see that you guys have gotten started. I see that you have drawn your collection of coins. What is our next step after we get our collection of coins? What are you doing now?
Writing it on the number line.
You are writing it on the number line. All right, I see that you started with your quarter. Why did you start with your quarter?
Because it's the largest coin.
That is the largest coin. So that value, typically we start with the largest value to add up our coins. So you started with 25 cents. Then what did you go to next?
My dimes.
So then you started making your jumps of
10.
10. I see that. How many jumps of 10 did you have?
7.
Okay, so right here I see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're working on adding your labels. Good, because remember, in order to have that level 3, we have to have where we precisely label the representation. So you have to make sure that you're adding that plus 10 cents, okay? Good job.
The students' thinking will become visible during the routine and the whole class debrief as students share their strategies with each other.
All right, so we are looking at an example. This is what one of you did today. What did they include when they were drawing their coins?
They didn't include just the value. They also include the first letter of the coin.
Right here I see this friend, they also went ahead, they included the number of quarters. It says I have 1 quarter, that means I have one group of 25 cents, which means I have the total value of 25 cents. I have 6 dimes, that means I have 6 groups of 10 cents, which means I have a total value of 60 cents in dimes. Were they correct with that?
Yes.
They were. The next one, I have 0 nickels. That means I have 0 groups of 5 cents, which means I have a total value of 0 cents in nickels. The last one, it says I have 2 pennies. That means I have 2 groups of 1 cent, which means I have a total value of 2 cents in pennies. Is that correct? Thumbs up, thumbs down? I see thumbs up. All right, so I see that they represented their quarter. I see next they represented their dimes. How many jumps of 10 did they make? Everybody look, let's see. How many jumps? Should we count them?
1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps, 5 jumps, 6 jumps.
Does that show an accurate representation of their coins?
Yes.
Yes, they had 6 coins, 6 dimes.
Yep.
And they had 6 jumps of what?
10.
The last thing that I see is the jumps of 1. I notice right here it says they have 2 pennies, and I see how many jumps of 1?
2.
2 for the total value of how much?
87.
They evaluated themselves. They said, I created a drawing to represent the value of my collection of coins.
Do we see that?
I see it right here. I would agree. Precisely label the representation with a cent sign. There's their representation. Did they add their cent sign when they're talking about their value? Yeah. They did.
The next one says, demonstrate on a number line how the coin values are added. The next one, I see it's circled. It says, mark and label the number line with proportional spaces. I see that the word mark is circled. Normally, when we're using our bike scales, when we circle it, what does that mean?
They need to work on it.
All right, the last one, it says, write and solve a one-step word problem involving quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. I see that this friend, they wrote a word problem. I'm going to read it. It says, I got 25 cents from Christmas, but I got 60 cents by 6 dimes. Then I was on the playground. I got 2 pennies. So I see this friend, they didn't use the number line strategy. They used a different strategy to solve. I see they said the 25 cents, I see it on that bottom part. Then it says they got 60 cents by dimes.
Where did that 2 come from?
They got it from the playground.
The 2 pennies from the playground, that's right.
They got 80 cents. Then they added their 5 cents from 25 and 2 cents from the 2 pennies, and they got a total of 7. Then that friend took and added 80 plus 7 and got 87 cents.
Usually this routine features partners counting and problem solving together. But today we are asking our students to work independently so we can assess their work toward mastery of the learning goals. If a teacher is looking for a flexible and powerful routine to implement in the math classroom, counting collections is a great routine to help students develop a meaningful understanding of numbers. As you'll see, counting is for much more than kindergarten.